Hello, it's me back again with another short video. Well, it's actually might be quite a long video perhaps, but we'll see how it goes. Right, today I'm looking at this video that this rather creepy human being video about questions that globetards can't answer, a must watch. Well, I'm probably going to just take a punt and right now at suggesting that most of the questions he's is asking probably have been answered, but as flat earthers tend to do, just completely ignore it and dismiss it based on no grounds whatsoever, or are questions that are completely pointless. So in this video I'm going to try my best to answer many of the questions. Now, like I do stress, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a scientist, but I mostly go through observations. If you want to do maths and physics and things, and really clever observations, I'd point you to Slice Barcane. If I'm pronouncing that right, I do apologise. Cool Hard Logic and Sci-Strike, or Red's Rhetoric, and there are probably many others as well. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to see what I can do here. Okay.
There. Okay, here we go. Questions globalists can't answer. The globulars can't answer. Why has no one ever circumnavigated from north to south pole, only east to west?
Well, there's probably many reasons for this. Okay, I'm going to bring up a picture of the Earth here. Okay. Now, in terms of a boat ride, or let's say a plane ride, you can go right around here. But in terms of going north to south, you've got many problems, right? By boat. Now, if you want to cross the South Pole, so let's go to the UK here, okay? So you travel by boat down, 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 down. Now you've got a problem. So what are you expecting them to do? Get on the boat, walk across the entirety of the South Pole, then jump on a boat, run about here, travel back up through here, and then back to you and back to thing, because that would be an arduous and yet pointless journey. Or would you, and also with a plane, there is no plane that would ever do this journey in one stop. You could probably get to from the UK. I'm going to correct myself before I even say it. There is no plane that could ever do this in one journey. Ever. Fuel, so they have to do loads of stops, which would then further your conspiracy. The only other way you could do this was probably grab a boat. You go down here. Down here, you go through here. So you go underneath South America. And back up. Back up, and then here. But this provides yet another problem with you flat earthers. Okay? Is that this would look simply like this on the flat Earth map. You're going down here, follow the cursor, down here, around here, up here, and around. So then again, it wouldn't be any proof to you people anyway. Ugh, look at this, I'm practically 4 minutes in and I'm only on the first question, so this is going to be a long video. Okay, so that's that one kind of answered or explained. Just the fact that it's, it doesn't make any difference. And people have circumnavigated, people have travelled from north to south. You can probably look that up if you want to. But it's impossible to do a journey, and even if they did, you'd probably find ways to debunk it.
How can space be a vacuum but still be mixed with the atmosphere of planets?
I don't understand your question. Mixed with the atmosphere of planets? No, the atmosphere is on the planets. And I know you're going to hate this, but there's a lovely word that flat earthers always seem to ignore, and that's the word gravity. I wish I had Desert File here, but I don't. But it's gravity, okay? Gravity keeps our atmospheres in, and keeps it, around the surface of our planet. Now, you can dismiss gravity as much as you want, because that's all they ever do. Well, we don't like gravity. Because the easiest thing for flat earthers to do is just throw gravity completely out the window. So unless you come up with an alternative, Stop asking questions like that. Okay? It's gravity. Fucking retards. Sorry, I should beat myself there.
It contradicts itself. It's ridiculous nonsense.
No, it doesn't contradict itself. You just don't understand it.
Why aren't airplanes called air curves?
Okay, that's got to be the most stupidest question I've ever heard in my life. But I'm going to answer it. It's called an aeroplane due to its geometrical shape of the wing. It's a plane, the wing is flat. An aero due to the fact that air travels over it to give it lift. Aeroplane. Okay? I can't believe he asked that question. What the hell's that, you know?
Why do they call it sea level and not sea curve?
Again, this is just... The concept, the scale of the planet is lost on you people, isn't it? Now, level is not the same as flat. Okay, it's called sea level because, you know, even if it was curved, there can be a level curve, as they say. A level, you know, it's level all around. Level doesn't mean flat. Okay, so... I'm so confused.
Why isn't the horizon called a curvizon?
We're going to love that on our debunking videos, the curvizon, because that's our favourite word. It makes no difference. Again, the size of this planet escapes you when you look out. I mean, if you saw a curve from ground level, your planet is far too small. Okay, this has got no basis at all because you're just not thinking things through. Okay, so God, I'm rubbish at this, aren't I? But keep on trying.
Why is every picture on Earth a cartoon computer-generated image?
Well, that's false. You know, all of the composites that they make are scans from satellites that are orbiting in a kind of low orbit, and they take scans. So each orbit, and they change their orbits. They're not spinning in the same place all the time. So they keep on taking scans, and then you get people who put them together. You know, but that's where you fly. Oh, the composites, oh, they're fake CGI. NASA admits it. Blah blah blah. But you know, yeah, the fact that they're CGI or anything is besides the point. And there are plenty of real photos.
Why is every picture of a satellite a cartoon CGI image?
What? Do all satellites have to come with their own selfie stick? I mean, seriously here. I mean, why does everything have to have a photo just to prove itself to you people? Oh, that's right, yeah. Let's just put a GoPro. Oh, no, you can't put GoPro because they're part of the conspiracy. So, it doesn't really matter. What? Do you want another satellite to take a picture of that satellite? Is that pretty much what you want? And then you probably want another satellite to take a picture of the other satellite. Oh, you're going to get mumbled. But, you know, that's... Oh, goodness me. There are plenty of photos of them on the ground as they're being built. And we know they're up there because they work. You know, the fact that we get satellite television, satellite phones. You know, the misconception, you know, that our mobile phones don't run off satellites because they're not satellite phones. Okay? So, you know, I'm getting off topic here slightly, but, you know. Okay? Keep moving on.
Why can't we find one real photo of Earth? Not one real photo. No cartoons or images don't count.
Again, that's false. You're just not looking for them, are you? Or you're looking for the wrong, or you're specifically looking for the composites. I'm going to give you an example here. Here is a little video here of the Himawari 8 satellite launched in 2014, and it came in working order in 2015, that takes a picture of the Earth every 10 minutes. Okay, I'll run this little animation in. It's beautiful to look at, and if you go on their website, there are hundreds to thousands of these images. So here we go. See? Look how awesome that looks. Now, and I would like to stress this is in a geosynchronous orbit, so the satellite stays put. Not stays put. I'm sorry. Kind of. It turns the same way, like, you know, that the Earth does. It's complicated. Ask other people about that. But you know, see, I'll play this again. Every 10 minutes, it catches a photo. There we are. Now, you can dismiss this CGI as much as you like, because that's the easiest thing flat earthers seem to be able to think of every time they are threatened by any sort of proof. CGI fake, conspiracy, Illuminati, Freemasonry. Okay, so this proves again. And you can go to the Discover satellite. Okay? I mean, geez, there's loads of them. Hell, I'm going to go to the Himawari website right now, and there are essentially thousands of these things. Okay? This is the latest image. Look at that. I mean, this is an extremely powerful camera. If you want to think these are fake, go ahead. But the thing is, you can't prove that they're fake. So stop bringing it up. Okay? Ooh, excuse me. Moving on.
Why isn't there real non-CGI 24-hour camera pointing down on Earth that can be verified as live?
Now, yes, well, there has been. There have been plenty of them. NASA have always had them on the ISS. The simple fact, the reason why it's not 24 hours is because the ISS does an orbit of the Earth every 9 hours. And when it's around the other side where it's dark, there's nothing to see. Because their cameras can't pick up light. So they essentially switch them off. You know, and what you mean by verified? Verified by who? See, again, you're just dismissing all the live streams from NASA because it's what suits your conspiracy, because it's the easiest thing to do. It's the same old pattern with these people, I swear.
Why is the continent of the USA twice the size in the 2012 image than it is on all the rest of them? Why don't you, why also is that particular picture deforested? There's no green in that image anywhere, like all the other pictures. Why was it deforested?
Well, just to go to the deforesting bit, did the concept that it might have been taken at a different time of year, perhaps? You know, during autumn, winter, so all the forests and everything, you know, and things around there would be a brown colour. You know, it could be a time when they were doing a lot of ploughing around farmland, different colour lenses that distort the colour slightly. You know, anything? No? None of that ringing a bell? Right, okay. Now, I'm going to go to this image. Now, this is a perfect example of that. And you can show this to flat earthers as much as you like, but they always seem to ignore it. And I don't think this guy will be any different. This proves to me again that he claims, by his thing, questions that globetards can't answer is completely false. They have been, but you just haven't bothered to do any research at all. Your research, my friend, is essentially just copying what other flat earthers have said. Okay? So look, you're really close to the globe. You're really close. Okay? So you're very close. And look how large it looks. Simply zoom out a little bit. Different angle of it, you know, different camera angles, things like that. And look how small it looks now. Because when you zoom out, you can see more of the globe. The reason why the globe itself looks the same size in his image, same as the one that you were talking about, is because they just increased the size of the image to make each picture look the same size. That's it. Just tidiness. So that, you know, again, something else easily explained if you just look it up or do your own experiments. But then again, I'm not quite sure what type of experiments flat earthers do half the time.
Why don't you fly off Earth if you are spinning faster than the speed of sound? All the retards say, why don't you...
Oh, so he's calling us retards now.
Fall off the edge. Well, why don't you fly off the fucking Earth if you're flying at 1,000 miles an hour, which is 1.5 times the speed of sound? Why don't you fly off the Earth if you're going...
Ooh, he's getting angry here.
...going 3 times faster than a speeding bullet? You're the idiot that's supposed to be falling off the Earth. With all, you're the one that where you should be asking you idiots that question. But you idiots always ask us the dumb questions.
No, they're not dumb questions. They're just questions that you refuse, ironically, to understand and answer. Right. The thing is about this is they have no concept of scale, size, speed, and again, gravity. Okay? You know, this whole notion, what he's imagining is a basketball spinning on the end of somebody's finger. That's how he thinks it should look, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay? Now I'm going to go back. I've done this before, and there are other videos on it. So let's just go from measure distance from here to here. Right, let's try and get this to about 1,000 miles. 1,000. There. Okay? So that's 1,000 miles. Now the Earth is travelling at 1,000 miles an hour, so it's still going to take an hour to get from there to there. Now as we zoom out, you'd understand how much of a small distance that is. An hour just to move this much. And because we are travelling, we were born on this planet travelling at the same speed as the Earth, that's why we don't feel anything. If the Earth sped up, then we'd probably feel something, or if it stopped dead, we'd also be dead. But that's, you know, that hopefully that never happens. You know? And this also is the same I use this same kind of idea for why clouds don't appear to move and all this kind of thing. It's, you know, it's quite simple to concept, but, you know, they again choose to ignore the one thing that explains all of this, and that's gravity. But according to them, all science is part of the conspiracy. I'd like to know how they know that that all education is a programming. So what deprogrammed then, quote unquote, you know, from them into reality? How do they know that they're not being programmed to find everything else is lying? Okay, I'm getting off topic again, but, you know. Okay. Back again.
But that's how it is in this upside down nonsense.
Oof, I'm not even going to bother.
Okay, we can't find one. All right, blah, blah, blah. Which one
Ooh, got a bit lost.
am I at here? Okay. Why don't you... Okay, how can we hear sound if we are spinning faster than the speed of sound? Why can't we replicate a spinning ball at 1,000 miles an hour and it makes water stick instead of fly off?
Oh, for God. Oh, that's like Russian Vid's infamous, famous and stupid video where he essentially pours water onto a tomato and says that because water doesn't stick on it, it's fake garbage. You know, you're expecting... We can't replicate something the size of the planet in a fucking laboratory. I mean, really? Do you not think any of this through? Honestly, I think I might have to do this video, what I'm noticing now, in 2 parts, because I'm already at 18 minutes here. So I'll see if I can go a bit further.
If gravity holds down oceans, why does it allow me to move and birds to fly and smoke rises? Why does smoke rise?
Again, this is, you know, gravity is a little bit more complicated than just pushes stuff down. It does a little bit more. Gravity isn't a simple aspect that you perceive it to be. Oh, goodness me. But then again, I'd leave that for somebody who's more well versed in the physics and the science of this.
Why does NASA admit that all of their images are all computer-generated images? Well, no, I'm sorry. Why do they? Yeah, they do. But why do they also admit that they're photoshopped? Because they are, right?
Yes, because they're composites. And the composites, they have to put them together. So they put them into a design program, i.e. Photoshop, and they, you know, make them look tidy. And then they present them. Only just recently, thanks to the Himawari 8 satellite, that we can have photos that aren't composites. So the thing is, what I don't understand with people, so they're trying to hide the conspiracy, but then again tell you that they're composites, because that apparently helps your case. People explained what composites are to you people, but you still don't get it.
I asked that one kind of weird. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, for goodness sake, this whole video's weird.
Why doesn't the Hubble telescope just turn around and take a picture of the Earth and settle it once and for all?
Well, let's put it this way. That's not what the Hubble telescope is designed to do. It's designed to take pictures of faraway stars and galaxies. It probably wouldn't be able to take a picture of the Earth even if it could turn around. Because it's not what it's designed to do. And also, even if it did, why would it matter? Because you'll simply dismiss it as being CGI anyway. You see the problem here? Ugh, sorry, a bit angry there. Right, moving on.
If gravity is real, why do things fly against its will? How do bees fly against its force? How does a rock know how to fall and helium know how to rise? Why do sundials still work to this?
Right, okay. Well, again, you're misunderstanding what gravity is. And I've had enough for answering that.
Day.
Why do sundials work to this day? Well, because they do. What's that got to do with flat Earth? I mean, really? You've literally just crammed any question you could fit into this video, haven't you?
Sextants still work to this day. How do lighthouses work if it's not flat?
Huh? You do know you can't see lighthouses from an infinite distance away. You do know that, right? Oh, somehow they don't work on a giant sphere. Huh? Okay, no, you're just confusing me now.
How do radars work if it's not flat?
Do you even know how radar works? I'm guessing no. Do you understand the logistics behind it? Any sort of... Do you know? Nothing? What's this got to do with... What's radar got to do with flat? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. God, prepare a little better. God damn it.
How do periscopes on submarines work if water isn't flat?
Huh? Because it pokes above the water, you tool. Huh? That doesn't make any... Oh my goodness me.
If we are flying through...
I have noticed I'm not necessarily answering these questions anymore, but there's nothing to answer. They kind of most of these questions answer themselves with how stupid they are.
Space. How does the North Pole star remain fixed right above the North Pole for millions of years? For millions and millions of years. Why does Aries failure prove we are stationary?
Well, this is a little bit of a problem here with many of flat Earth logic and people who are creationists. How do you know it stayed fixed for millions and millions of years? Because most creationists don't even think that the Earth's about 6,000 years old. Okay? Now, but stayed above the Earth for millions and millions of years. Well, in fact, that's false. Because it hasn't. Stars do move. Around about 5,000 years ago, the North Pole star was not Polaris. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was Thuban in the constellation Draco. Or that might be what it is eventually. But no, 5,000 years ago, it was noted and described to have not been Polaris. So that's a ridiculous notion right there. And also, they seem to think that the solar system moves independently from the rest of the rest of the galaxy. No, we turn with the galaxy, which is why everything stays in the same place relative to us.
If we're supposed to be flying through space at 67,000 miles an hour.
Let me hear that again.
We're supposed to be flying through. Why does Aries failure prove we are stationary if we're supposed to be flying through space at 67,000 miles an hour?
Now, again, why do you believe the Aries failure experiment when you happily dismiss others that prove you wrong on many of the flat Earth points? And I would like to point out that there are other experiments that are done that were supposed to work together that actually contradict one another. I like the fact that, have you done any research into Aries failure? Of what it actually is? How did you come to the conclusion that the experiment was 100% trustworthy? I'm still waiting for flat earthers to answer things like this. But, never mind, let's move on.
Why haven't we been back to the moon since 1972 if we really did go there?
Well, let's put it this way. They've been there 9 times. There's probably nothing there to do. And then budget cuts, doing many other things, ideas. Now, let me get this straight, okay? This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion. Now, I perfectly understand the reasons behind the thinking that we didn't go to the moon. Okay, it was, political pressure, getting there before Russia, and, to make America look good, to make America look powerful, to win the space race. Egos were at the line, a lot of money was on the line, and they might have faked it, or, the first one. But if they faked the first one, why fake it 9 more times? It's completely pointless. And I perfectly understand, but, most of the so-called evidence that the moon landings were faked have all been questioned, and they've all been challenged, and they've all been explained, and yet again still ignored by the general flat earther community. Okay, moving on.
Why don't buildings lean or tilt if the Earth is a curved ball?
Why don't buildings lean or tilt? At what distance are we talking about here? So let me get this straight. Are you going to be able to notice any sort of tilt from your vantage point? From as far as many buildings are visible, are you going to notice a building tilting away from you at very small degrees? And probably the answer to that is no. Again, I swear to God, you've just looked at loads of flat earth videos, haven't you? You've cycled through them, you've picked your questions without even looking at them.
Why does NASA say they can't get past the Van Allen belts, yet they went to the moon last in 1972? Why doesn't water curve?
Right, let's go back to the Van Allen belts. Right, this was an image that SciStrike gave me. Now, most of the time, when, let's say, Apollo 11 was in orbit, it was in orbit, I would say, around about here, where the radiation is very, very small. So when they then boosted to leave Earth's atmosphere, they travelled at an extremely fast pace. They were booking it through the shortest bits. Then they went to here where there is none, and out here, off into space and off to the moon. It's as simple as that. If you looked up the trajectory and all this kind of things, you'd probably understand. But, never mind. Just ignore it, like everything else.
If NASA went to the moon 8 times...
Now, before I go on there, why doesn't water curve? Well, in fact, it does. Bubbles don't ring a bell, or all the experiments they do on the ISS that show, water surface tension, all that kind of thing. No, nothing, not ringing a bell. Oh yeah, it's CGI. That's right, isn't it? Ugh.
From 1968 to 1972, why haven't they gone back? Since 1972, you haven't gone once, not once. Why did Russia quit if it was a space race?
Why did Russia quit? Because it was the space race. Because that's the emphasis of a space race. America got there first. America kept on going. We think the entire space agency was, basically is in on it. Why didn't Russia do any fake movies of going? Some fact of the matter is, nobody had any interest of going there because America was doing it already. But, never mind. And I think I'm going to have to call this video here. Timestamp this here now at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'll continue this video in part 2. Okay, thank you very much. And I'll see you again hopefully soon.